Hello.
Awesome.
Everybody, he's been waiting. I've been getting text messages.
Oh,
Yeah, they're like, where are you? So hi.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to introduce myself really quickly. And then I'm also going to introduce Angela as well, who's our very special guest today. So my name is Erin Chung, and I help real estate agents with online marketing. And so Angela is actually part of the academy in the Lead Strategy Academy that I have. And so we had a conversation going in the Facebook group one day, and someone was asking about getting leads from Facebook. And Angela was so nice because she jumped in and was like, why don't you set up a property shop? And it's genius. So I wanted to have Angela here to introduce what she does on Facebook and introduce herself as well. So Angela, maybe if you want to start by saying like where you're from and how you kind of came about all of this, that'd be amazing.
Sure. So my name is Angela Bachelor, and I am in Wilmington, North Carolina. So we are on the coast of North Carolina. So we're at the beach. And today it's only like 78 and it's a little partly cloudy right now. So we have some really fantastic weather. I run a team in the Wilmington area, and we serve everything pretty much from an hour north, an hour south, and an hour west of Wilmington. And one of the things that you and I had kind of chatted about was just ways that we use social media, ways that we kind of create lead opportunities for business.
Yep.
And one of the things that we probably do at a very high level right now with Facebook is one-on-one interaction. So if you look at our page, we don't do a ton at this moment. That's kind of part of our building to that of posting. What we do very well is to create opportunities to share listings and different property ranges, like we kind of talked about, with individuals. That allows us to generate leads from that and to keep them on an ongoing process of having one-on-one conversations with them. Nice. So ways to engage. We do a lot of that through private message. We do that through our property shop on Facebook we've utilized, and just even really utilizing some of the really hot price points in our market has helped tremendously. Like anything under 150,000, there are people just fighting to get in the door there. Our average price range in Wilmington is around 250. So it just kind of piques the most interest. We're getting a lot of those people, whether they're investors, first-time homeowners, and a lot of those folks sometimes are looking for a deal, so they may not be working with a real estate agent yet.
Nice. So what I always recommend, what she just said is genius, because whatever your price point is, the average, if you can just have a collection of homes that's just slightly lower than that, that's always going to be a really, really good sweet spot. So that's perfect. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to draw in a lot of leads versus, because it's a numbers game. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a numbers game. You know, I often talk to agents who are like, yeah, I got this really great lead on my listing. And one lead is really tough to turn into a buyer. There are lots of things that can kind of get in the way of that. So I think the main goal is to get as many leads as you can. I think it's still important to focus on those other price points. It's just you're not going to get the abundance that you may, and something that creates a lot of opportunity. And a lot of those folks, especially in that kind of price range that are investors, they may be looking to do more than one transaction, which is what we're looking for. Again, a numbers game.
Nice. Love it. I love it. Sweet. So why don't you go ahead and maybe show us an overview of what yours looks like, and then we can dive into how you did everything.
Let's see. Okay. So, well, let me first I'll show you what it looks like on our Facebook page. Let's see. I know you did a good screenshot. That one has been probably pretty helpful for us. The homes under 150 generate a lot of interest, whether that's just in a drip campaign that we're doing to folks, or go in here. Okay, how do I share my screen?
At the bottom, there should be a little, yeah.
Let me share my screen here. Okay. We actually utilized your little video idea, by the way. And
Oh, nice. I love it.
we've had so many people reach out to us, which is kind of crazy. I've had agents reach
Awesome.
out to me from across the globe about how we did that video. Like, that's awesome. It's super easy, by the way.
It
Um,
is.
yeah. So, all right. So when you actually are on your Facebook, you have the option to add what's called a shop. And so if you don't have that, it's, I guess, one of the, I don't know what you call it, like a label or one of the options that you have to add a shop. So if you look over on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on shop. And when you scroll down, you can see that we basically added a product. So we went in and clicked on add product, and that allowed us to post a photo. And we just use a generic photo. It's not of a particular home. It might be of a home that we find in that price range that's currently listed, just something that looks really good to attract them. Obviously, you do want that to be as real as possible. You don't want to make a very elaborate home if you're posting, you know, foreclosures under $200,000 and for it to be $1 million house.
Sure.
So we do feel like it needs to look realistic. So we would go in, we'd add a photo. You also have the option to add a video. So you could add a video of yourself talking about the listings or talking about how many listings are on the market. The cool thing is this does not, it never expires. So the way I'm going to show you to add this, the link is constantly updating. So whenever someone clicks on that, it's not an old link that no longer works. So that's what's really important is you do need to add a link that's tied into that particular search, whether you're doing that from your MLS. I know some MLSs have the option to create a search so that it's constantly like a subscription, like it's constantly renewing that feed. It's not specific to like these 8 houses that came up when I searched for it. That's all it's going to take them to. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. So basically,
Erin?
yeah.
Okay.
In other words, you're just creating an evergreen link from your MLS or from like an idea, a collection of IDX pages on your
Yes.
website. And then if it's, let's say, you know, like Los Angeles homes under our average price point, maybe would be closer to like 700,000 or something like that.
Yes.
Then it's just an evergreen link and that's it.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
use it from our website, which is a Brevity built site. It has really strong IDX. We have a ton of tools that allow us to see what we're like, who's looking at it, where they're coming from, how long they're looking at a particular listing. So whenever they click it, we have forced registration on our site. Some people may not believe in forced registration. We absolutely do. So,
I do too. Yep.
yeah,
I do
so
too.
we force them to look at it. If you look at more than one page, you're signing up with us.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll send it sometimes to clients who are like, hello, we don't need to register. And we actually register our clients for them so that whenever they look at anything on our site, they don't have any issues with logging in. And we just use their email address and their phone number.
Okay.
It's easy to remember. Just a little tip for those of you watching. So in here, we would go in to name. Obviously, we're going to name our search, whatever we searched. And so we do homes, like you can see on ours, it has homes under $150,000 in New Hanover County. And then under price, you do have to put a price. So that's where we put that $150,000 mark. And that in our market wouldn't be as attractive if it was 300,000. So we were specific about what we were looking at. And then a description, you can add your description there. And then this is the checkout link is where you actually put the link that's going to reference back to where you want to go. Because it's when they click on it, it's going to take them to that particular link, whether it's through your MLS, an option that you have to create a feed through your MLS, or through your website. We personally, all day long, want to use our website because our tracking capabilities are really strong. And then we can obviously see when they shift over, maybe they were just a seller looking at our marketing options and they clicked that because they thought it was really cool that we did it. And we can go to see that they go visit our seller page on our website. So we have more information about what they're looking to do. Maybe they're not really a buyer, or maybe they click on another, you know, a different category. Maybe they're thinking about selling their home in order to buy a new one in a different price range. So we can track where they're going, what they're looking at, where they spend their time through using our website.
Okay, awesome.
And you'll have to let me know. I talk super fast. So those of you who are on the call who like know me very well, so let me know if anyone has any questions or I'm moving a little too quickly about what we do and why we do it.
And if you guys have questions, just go ahead and ask them in the chat. And then what we'll do is after Angela's done, we'll go through and we'll answer a lot of the questions that you have. So feel free to put them in the chat right now.
Awesome. So something really important when you're doing this is to make sure that you set the visibility to public, not unpublished. So you definitely want to click it on public so anyone can see it, whether they've liked your page or not.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that really helpful to how we utilize that? I can also kind of show you how we do it on our site if anyone's interested. It's probably pretty typical for most websites and how we create that search link.
Yeah, Angela, would you mind just clicking on the 150, like the homes for sale, and then showing people just kind of where it leads?
Okay, awesome. So that should take you to it.
Perfect.
I think that takes me to the edit, the button.
Okay. Maybe on the front end.
Okay, so this is what it looks like, by the way. So, so this gives you an example. In the past week, 16 people have viewed it and 10 clicks. Here you've got homes for sale under 150,000 in New Hanover County, and then product details. That's just the description that we put in. 2 people have shared that. So, you know, again, very helpful. And then here is checkout on website. So we're going to go, and this is actually going to take you to our site. And what it's going to pull up is 94 listings.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Edna asks, just really quickly, I wanted to address this. Are you only posting homes that are your listings? And the answer to that, Angela, is no, right? You're posting.
That is correct. I would love to have 94 listings on our 150,000 right now. No, we're not. And the reason why is because, and some of these are posting from other counties. I'm not really sure right now. I'll have to look into that. But the reason we have an IDX agreement with our MLS. So when we signed up for our website, we had to complete a form, and our MLS does allow us to share other properties. Like we can display other properties on our website. So what I'm not doing is taking someone else's listing and putting a post about that listing in my Facebook page. I did not do that because that would not be legal or compliant. What I did do is I referenced those people searching for homes under 150,000 onto our site. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And
yeah,
it's pretty much, this is basically what Zillow does, and Redfin also. So when buyers are looking and Googling things, instead of using Facebook, they often use this with Google. So basically when someone's Googling and people will do this, they'll Google homes under 250,000, and then you notice Zillow and Redfin and Trulia pop up right away, and then they give you a collection of homes. So what I love about this so much is that Angela has kind of used the same tactics that the big buyer portal sites are using on her own page to kind of get some of those leads as well, which is brilliant. Mm-hmm.
So it's really easy once you're on our site. So like, for instance, here, I would sign in under me. And then when I do, I can create a search. So I can just basically search my website, and whatever link, whatever URL it gives me, once I do that, it allows me to basically copy that URL. And that's what I put in the shop.
Nice.
So I'm searching on my site, creating a outcome, right? Like a page like you just saw. So the end result is I have this page. I'm simply just going to copy the MLS, or I'm going to copy the URL, and then I'm going to post that URL under the shop, right? So I'm just going to add a photo, a little description, post the URL, and be done with it.
Yep. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I would say 16 is probably low for this week for getting that. However, it's something we haven't been really pushing or promoting a ton this week. It would be something that if we were running a sponsored ad or anything like that, it would definitely generate a ton of interest in
Nice.
that price range in our specific market. Now, depending on where you're at, that may not.
So one of the things that I was thinking about is where I am here in Southern California, the big thing is pool homes, especially moving
Okay.
forward towards the summer, right? So you
Yeah.
could do the same exact thing for like a collection of pool homes in like a create a shop just for that, right? That's right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think anything like we did another one of ours was I think our other one was, let me see if I can get out of this, luxury homes for sale. So we do have a good luxury home market. Right now, it's pretty great. And so, we've had 5 views, 3 clicks. We haven't really promoted it in the last week. So that's probably not a great example. When it's promoted, I think that can go, higher. You're being more specific and saying homes with pools. So you're incorporating a large range of price ranges too.
Mhm.
So you might be a lot more likely to get someone to click on it. We're a little limited right this moment with how deep we can go on our search on our website. They are making changes to that daily. Sometimes, we can do school districts. School districts are huge. People search in school districts.
Yep.
So what we're looking to do is kind of appeal to those folks and generate a list. When people do click on that and they're forced to register on our site, the registration, whatever they register, they're going to go into a MailChimp campaign. And that's how we're going to, and they're also going to have like a drip campaign inside of our CRM, which is tied to our website. Does that make sense?
Love it. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
they don't go away. We don't just get the lead and then nothing's done. As a matter of fact, yes, if they put a legitimate phone number, we're going to call them immediately.
Yes.
Or text. Sometimes text generates a higher level of feedback and responsiveness more quickly. Again, they're all going to go into some type of action plan where you're having a constant stream of emails. And depending on what they clicked on our website will actually depend on what we send them next.
What I love about this the most is that basically, even if you like for instance, the luxury homes, you said that one was a little bit low this week. However, it's free, right? So like if you're not putting any ads or anything, that's, even if you only got 5 clicks, that's 5 clicks you didn't have before, right? So
Well,
I think that's great.
yeah, so it's 5 views and 3 of them clicked. So that's more than 50%, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're talking about 60% of the people who actually viewed it were going followed through and clicked through to our site. So it's actually generating traffic to our website, which is really what we're looking to do because that's where we can gain the most information about them.
Awesome.
We don't have as much luck with, well, I guess I wouldn't say we don't have as much luck. We haven't really run a ton of Facebook ads for this purpose.
Okay.
We do occasionally when they're more challenging listings that we know we have to specifically target, like the one I had mentioned to you on Friday. And that was a little bit different. So there's no way anyone is ever going to probably call our sign on this listing. So we have to really think out of the box.
Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and start answering some questions. I saw some come through. So let's see.
Is there a way for me to, I think I can see this under Q&A?
Yeah, you should be able to. Yes, or the chat box.
Okay, great. Okay.
So, and then if you wouldn't mind just unsharing your screen real quick for us, and then that way people can see your face too.
You will have to help me on that. This is my first time. Bachelor. There we go.
There you go.
Yay!
Gosh, we have people from all over the world here. This is
really
exciting. This is amazing. Okay, so someone asked, Anna, can you create a link from Real Scout? I'll go ahead and start this one off because I know, Angela, you use Brivity. So I think, Anna, what you're trying to ask here is basically so Real Scout is my favorite it's for listing alerts. And the reason why I like it is because it sends out listing alerts automatically every single day, and it uses natural language. There's lots of reasons why I prefer Real Scout over your standard MLS. So what I would recommend is that Angela, what she's doing is she's actually linking this to an IDX page on her website. And that would be my first option. So once people kind of come over to your website and they land on that IDX page and they see a collection of homes under X amount, or your all of the collection of the pool homes that are currently for sale, that would be the first option. And then from there, they would go ahead and opt in through that IDX link, just like Angela showed. So if they're viewing one or more homes, they have to go ahead and opt in order to view more, which is what I also recommend as well. And then from there, you can set them up on listing alerts with Real Scout. I personally like Real Scout just because of the fact that most of the brokerages offer it for free. I hang my hat at Keller Williams, and my brokerage actually pays for it. So Brivity is an amazing, amazing platform. But if you kind of want to kind of think about your budget and your broker happens to offer Real Scout, then maybe that's going to be a viable option for you as well.
Yeah. And I mean, we have a totally different needs. We have a team. So we have a group of people signing in and doing those things. I don't know what Real Scout is. That sounds amazing that your brokerage pays for it. We have Playster is what a lot of folks in our office use. We even have teams that use that. For us, it didn't do all the things that we wanted it to be able to do based on our current needs. So yeah, that's amazing. And really, in some cases, like you mentioned, you don't even have to have a website. Let's say you don't have one yet. Don't let that stop you from being able to utilize that. Use your MLS. You know, the MLS will allow you to grab links that are associated with you. You know, it posts your picture at the bottom. You know, it has your contact information, and that way you can create those options and put those on your on the Facebook shop.
I agree 100%. I love it.
Yeah.
And then Chanel is asking, do you then click share the product? So if you're on your Facebook page and then you're looking at the shop, she's asking if you share it, or kind of how do you promote it? And
yes, we should share it more. One thing that we a lot of times do is something that's just kind of interesting in a way that we do it is we use private message a ton. So I have a really big database of just friends on Facebook. So we tend to get a lot more traction when I can private message them. And the way that I do that, just so you guys know, so anytime I create links, you can share that to your page. If you have someone that likes your Facebook page, you cannot send them a message from your page unless they message you. Mm-hmm. However, you can send them a private message in I don't know what's it called, Messenger, right? And so in Messenger, the reason I do it on my phone is that in Messenger, I can add someone to Messenger that isn't a friend, and it automatically posts into there, and it doesn't go into their hiding box. You know, the like other inbox. Mm-hmm. You guys know what I'm talking about. So anytime we have like a special link, we'll say, oh, thank you for liking my page. I'm the real estate agent who handles everything for this team. If there's anything that I can help you with, I personally would love feedback on what you saw, or maybe something, how did you come to find our page? And then what I do is I may share that link with them and say, oh, I wanted to let you know, here's the hottest listings on the market this week that are all coming soon. So there's just different ways that you can use that link that you used in the property shop other than just sharing it on your page. Because people follow people, not always brands. Agreed. Especially when they're not we're not equal to Target, right? I'd love to say that we are, but we're not. And so when you think about that, I'm a lot more likely to respond directly back to a person than I am to a link. And so we start the conversation before we send the link, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then someone asked, how often do you add new products or update the pictures?
So we haven't really added a ton new products. Those are our two big ones, because everything kind of in the middle, we just really, we don't explore those as much because we feel like that draws attention. Other options are kind of a wider range. We don't change the pictures or update them. We just grab a really great picture, and that's the one that we use.
That's
as long
awesome.
As it looks good, I don't think you have to update the picture.
So you can basically just set it and forget it,
Yeah,
which is
that's the point, is it generates leads for you when you're not working.
I
It
love it.
generates opportunities for you. You just have to be driving them to a place where they can register. And that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter whether you use your MLS, Real Scout, Playster, Privity, you know, Top Producer, what, I don't even know if that's, you know, the thing that people use anymore, but it doesn't matter what you use, as long as they're going somewhere where you can capture their information. If you're not getting their information, then it's not a lead. You have to have a way to communicate with them.
Yes, agreed. And then a couple of people asked, can you just set up a sample really quickly so that they can see kind of where you started the process?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's see. So I would share my screen again. Okay. All right, let's do this. All right. Actually, do this first.
And then while you're doing that, I see that there's a question here from Kalia, and she said, how do you boost real estate related posts on Facebook without getting denied? And Kalia, there's a special, you have to go into the ads manager. And when you go into the ads manager, you should see a huge red banner. And when you see that red banner, you need to click that you're able to, Facebook has a kind of like their own terms of fair housing. And so all the real estate agents have had to click that option. So for Kalia or anybody else, if you try to run an ad and you can't, that's the reason why. You have to accept the new Facebook fair housing compliance. And once you do that, you should be good to go with running ads again.
Let's see if this will let me log in. Okay, so I logged into my site because I have to register whenever I do a search. So if you have a site that's like that, you'll need to log in, and we just created our own login basically, and we call it testing. So it doesn't count against us when we're searching, and we're searching different pages. I don't know how deeply you guys track that, but so I'm gonna click on search listings. I'm gonna do this first. And so let me see if I can add this in. So I would simply go over here, and now I'm going to set up a search on my website. So I'd probably click on more and go a little deeper. I'm not ever going to click include properties without photos. If you guys ever have the option, don't, because no one wants to look at things without photos.
Yep.
And then I'm only going to click actives. You could also do pendings, you know, hey, here's the last 10 houses or the last 50 houses that sold in this price, you know, in this price point, so that people can kind of get an idea of what that looked like. You could do popular features. So I would say let's do all foreclosures. Foreclosures are really big attraction. People think that they're getting an amazing deal, even though us as agents know that's not always true. Okay, so we're gonna do all of those, and then I'm gonna select residential. So this is probably a lot like your search options that you have on your MLS. And then I'm just going to click save searches. So I'm going to name it. And this is your once a day. So this would be how often I would send it to the person that was signing up. Well, it's me, so it's okay. We're going to hit save the search. Okay, and now this gives me 304 listings that are foreclosures, right? And 46 that are new. So I'm gonna go up here and click on my save searches. And then we'll go foreclosure properties. So this is just foreclosure. And I'm just checking to make sure I don't have other searches set up there. And then what I'll actually do is I'm gonna grab this link, and then I'll go over to my Facebook page, and I'm gonna click add product. I'm going to put my name, and let's say homes, list of newest foreclosures to hit market in Greater Wilmington area. And then my price range, here's the challenge. You have to pick a price range, right? So there's no way of doing it. Like if you have homes with pools, you would want to make it almost so it's like fictional, if that makes sense. Like not fictional, but it's an odd number, so it grabs their attention. But to make sure or you would do it in the top, in the name or in the description that you're telling them that it's a wide variety of homes. So list of foreclosures in all price ranges. So this might be something that you could do here, in all price ranges.
I've also had a lot of success on like sending traffic from Google pages to IDX links by saying like list of foreclosures under, you know, 300,000 or list of pool homes under 400,000, those types of things too. So maybe that could be an option as well for some people.
Okay. And then I would just click put my link in here. I'd obviously want to add a photo. So let me look and see if I can add I mean, I want to put a photo there. I don't want to make it fake.
Yeah.
To see that.
And then while you're doing that, Grant asked, how do you get the checkout URL? And so she kind of where she just pasted right there. And the checkout URL was the IDX link from her website.
From my website.
Yeah. If you don't have a website, you can use a link from the MLS.
Now I'm going to take this down, guys, because I don't want to use this and not like, I'm going to take this down when we do it and redo it. I'm just going to grab this picture because I'm really not, I mean,
yeah.
Picture real quick. This is not a very appealing picture, by the way. If anyone's looking for a picture to use, this would not be the one that I would use with a car in the front yard. I try to find the best looking one that you possibly could. We do ask people when we can use their photos too, by the way. So I usually pick a listing of someone that I know and I ask them just to get their permission to be able to use their photograph. And a lot of times we'll use a photograph of a home that we sold in that price range before, so we don't have to do that, FYI. There's always someone in your office that won't mind that you're marketing their listings to. Trying to figure out. And you'll have to, I know this sounds weird. I'm not using my computer because my computer was causing some challenges. So I'm on another computer from our office.
Someone also asked, a lot of people actually, will there be a replay of the webinar? And the answer is going to be yes, because we actually maxed out on the number of attendees. So a lot of people didn't get to see it. So yes, there will be a replay.
All right, so it's that easy, guys. I'm done. I'm gonna go public. Share this product on your page. That's how you share. You've got to click this little button, a little slider there. Your product will be shared on your page as soon as it's approved, and you click save. The only reason they would not approve it, and you can vouch for this, Erin, is if you're putting a lot of text, or you're putting, I'm assuming, or it's contains something that's not, appropriate. So,
Yes.
Which none of us should be doing that. So, I've never had one not get approved for that particular purpose.
Okay.
And then you just save, and it's going to show up in my property shop once it's approved.
And then someone asked, can you boost these products on Facebook?
Yes, I believe that you can. We are not, we're not really big on boosting. We're really big on organically driving traffic and organically creating leads. And I would just say, if you are really interested in creating lead opportunities, the best thing for you to do is find a way to organically do it. I mean, would you not agree? Like, boosting a post like that is, I would put it in a group before I would pay money to run the ad. Now, that's a personal preference. There might be folks that have a completely different take on that. I would post in a local group, for sale group, or for sale, some have like homes for sale in Wilmington, North Carolina. I would post there versus boosting a post like that. I wouldn't think it would be a bad thing. We just don't do that personally. Does that answer your question?
I agree, actually. Like, I think that boosting, like, advertising, like in the academy, it's called amplifying with ads.
Yes.
So like, I actually just like to use ads to make things go quicker, faster, and just a little bit, like, I prefer organic over everything else, but you can drastically amplify. So like what I would do in this case is, which is what Angela has already done, is that if you find one that's really hot that you see people love, then maybe you can put a few dollars behind that one. But I would actually want to test all of them first, just with organic. And then if you see that one's getting a lot of traction, maybe you can boost that one because you know that it's going to convert. So.
And here's kind of my mindset on this. When you give away everything, this stuff is online. They can see all of this elsewhere. They can see all of it elsewhere. We all have the same information to share. There's no agent that has a magic, ball and they're able to send out stuff. They don't have a magic pill that they're able to send out stuff that you can't. We all have the same information that we can share. And it's how speedy you deliver the information. So it's how fast you're getting the information to them. And when you think of it that way, it's that you want to be that person that gets that information out to people first. So if you're running an ad and it's asking people to sign up, and that's why we don't do as much Facebook ads in that particular category, they can go to another website and look all the information up to get what you're sending them. So if you're sending out a list like this, they can easily do that on Zillow, Realtor.com, another agent site. They're browsing and they're looking. So I think when you're paying for something, you need to secure that you're not just going to get the clicks, but you're actually going to get people who follow through and give you their contact information. That's my take, is if I'm going to pay for something, I better be getting an outcome. I better be getting some return on my investment. And I find that things like this, they generate traffic to our site, but they don't always necessarily generate a direct lead. The money is in the follow-up. So getting them to a place where I've captured their information and they're getting hit with drip emails, new search options, things like that are more likely to give me traction with them and develop a lead or a relationship with them.
Yeah, you once also, and this is kind of advanced, but when you get people to go to your website, you can run retargeting ads in the background. So if Angela sees that someone organically clicked on this and they end up on a page on her website that's homes under 150,000, she can run a retargeting ad that's just a few dollars a day running in the background, that's basically trying to get those people to opt in if they didn't opt in once they hit her site. So there's other advanced things that you can do, but that's for hitting warm audiences, people who already have been to her website, who've already landed on her page. So that's just another way to kind of add, again, a more fuel to the fire in amplifying what you're already doing. So I agree with that.
And to add to that is when we would pay. So we do retarget. So those people who've clicked on the 150,000 and gone to our website, we do use I guess it's like a token or whatever to be able to track what's happening. That is who we would target as our audience when we ran a listing for $150,000.
Brilliant.
Or we ran a listing for a home with a pool. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
brilliant.
We would try to capture them there. We would spend money to create a lead directly on a property. To get a lead off of a list that we've created, not so much. I mean, maybe on a foreclosure list or coming soon, things that kind of, sign up to get this. I do feel that's a little bit different. I don't even know that I would pay for it, but that's my personal take on it. And I'm sure other people have different ideas around that.
So someone asked, BB asked, does anyone ever get upset that you contact them directly via Messenger?
No, not usually. I mean, I'm really friendly about it. So I'm happy to post some pictures, some screenshots of what we say on Messenger. I always use a lot of emojis. So I feel like when I use emojis in text, whether that's, like a text on my phone that came through for a listing, I always use emojis. It just seems to soften it and seem less mechanical or less just scripted. We do use scripts though. So even though I use emojis, I use the same script in every contact that I make with that person to start out with. So I might say, hi, it's Angela. You liked our page. I run the team and I was just curious if maybe one of our agents on our team or maybe one of our past clients had recommended us. I'm curious, how did you find us? So when I ask that, they almost always answer.
Nice.
I may always also look and see who they're friends with and see if there's a connection and say, oh, how do you know so-and-so? I see that we're common friends. So it depends on, I can usually tell by looking at the profile how they found out about us almost all the time. They're either an agent in another market that heard about us from a class or Keller Williams, whatever it might be, or they're someone that lives in the area, or they're a service provider. So I can usually tell in like 2 seconds where that person came from, but I'm still going to start the conversation out the same because I want them to tell me how they heard about us.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we're going to go ahead and start to wrap up here, but Brittany had a question. She said, Erin, do you build websites that allow for tracking and registration? I do. However, if you have like a Brivity or an IDX broker or an iHome Finder website, all of those will allow you to do it. So your IDX is what is going to allow you to have people register and opt in. And even for the websites that I build, I use IDX broker. So yes.
Yeah, and make sure when you do that, that your whoever's servicing that you have the ability to add a Facebook app ID. So Facebook app ID, which allows people to actually sign in on your website through Facebook.
Nice.
It's amazing. So it helps with tracking. We just added that option to our site. And we haven't even seen we just did that like over the weekend. So I'm really excited to see what that looks like.
And if you are using IDX broker, there's a $39 option and then there's a $70 option. Unfortunately, only the $70 option allows you to do the Facebook registration. So obviously it's very valuable. That's why they want you to pay more for that. So
yeah, and that's a deal. I mean, I don't know how much it all breaks down for us. I mean, we have a team, we have a lot of people signing into our account. So we have we have 5-6 people signing in through our website, and we pay per person. So if you have something that's provided for you for free that allows you to build us, do it.
Okay, awesome. And then let's see, last question here. Chanel asks, she says, when is your summer session starting? The summer session is slated for October. She's asking about the Lead Strategy Academy, and it's, we closed the academy down so that we could service all the people that are in the academy and make sure that, where they're supported and they have success in the program. So it's slated for October. I would absolutely get on the waiting list. It's just leadstrategyacademy.com. If you're interested in learning how to generate leads online, just get on the waiting list. And then also, Angela, tell us again, one more time for anyone that came on late, where you serve and how they can get in contact with you for referrals if they have any.
So if you guys want to, if you'll do this, if you will drop your contact information, we can start a little feed on the Facebook group and the Facebook page that you have. And if you put your name and email address, I will add you to our referral network. So we have a goal every month to send a certain number of outbound referrals. Before in the first day of this month, we had already sent out 3. So we work really hard at connecting folks with great agents across the globe. And we'd love to have you in our referral network. So we average anywhere from 5 to sometimes 10 referrals coming into our team every month. So we'd love to have you a part of that and help you build some passive income referrals. Wilmington's a great place to live. So I'll send you some information so you know exactly which locations we serve throughout the Wilmington area. And if you ever need anything, I'm always happy to answer questions. You guys can send me a private message in Facebook. I'm maxed out on friends. However, there is an option to click follow and you can follow my profile. And we're also on Instagram. So I'll be sure to share that in a post. You guys can follow us on Instagram as well. We have a pretty big agent following and we provide a lot of free tools and templates that we use in our business to people who are in our referral network. So anytime we have a tool that works, we're happy to share it with you and you don't have to recreate the wheel in your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angela. This has been so helpful, and I'm so thankful that you were able to share all of this wealth of knowledge with us. So I really, really appreciate you being
Yeah,
a panelist here. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys inviting me. It's been a lot of fun. So look
Awesome.
forward to another one in the future.
I'll go ahead and start a thread in the group for anyone that's in the Facebook group. And if you are not in the Facebook group, it's Real Estate Marketing Collective, and go ahead and look for it. And then I will go ahead and put a link there, and then you guys can get the resources that Angela has just mentioned. So thank you so much, Angela, and have a wonderful day.
Sounds great. Thanks, Erin.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.